We're going to have more now on Bank of America. That's the largest U.S. lender, and it posted its first profit in 3 quarters. The company reaping the gains from that Merrill Lynch investment banking division they swallowed up. Joining us now is Buzzy Geduld. He is the CEO of Cougar Trading. He owns more than 2.5 million shares of B of A. He's with us via phone. Good morning to you, Buzzy.
Good morning, Margaret. How are you?
I'm doing very well today, and it looks like you got to be a little bit happy when you look at iBanking, when you look at trading revenue at B of A, but it seems like there's still a fair amount of rot in there when you look at home loans and insurance. $2 billion loss there.
Well, as we get more normalized, as the economy comes back, which I think it's doing, as we get back to normalized earnings for a place like Bank of America, I think they're going to knock the cover off the ball, and I think this is just the beginning. I'm not concerned. I think that there are certain aspects of banking that are going to be under pressure for a while, but I think they're going to work through it. Adversity, I think, creates innovation. It's going to make the bank stronger. I think they've learned their lesson. I think the leadership is terrific, and I'm extremely positive on it. I think you have to look out. Where are we going to be a year, 2, 3 years out? As I've said before, this is a franchise that cannot be replaced. It's a one-of-a-kind, and I think businesses that have that kind of franchise are things that are just going to do well in the future.
Right. Well, what's the strength for them, right, is their tremendous retail assets. You've said that in the past. Their exposure to the consumer, though, is also a worry when you look at continued concerns about foreclosures and losses on home loans here. So at what point does the strength become a worry again for you?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to be careful not to worry about each quarter. I think, you have to take a longer-term point of view. And the whole issue to me is, do you believe the American economy is, A, going to survive, and B, is it going to grow? I believe that, and therefore I say normalization is what's going to be important here, and we have to look out a year or 2 years from now. And I think housing will get better, credit's going to get better, jobs will get better, employment gets better, et cetera. I think that this merger between Bank of America and Merrill is going to make so much sense for them over the next 10 or 20 years. It's just going to be incredible. We talk about M&A business. M&A business hasn't even begun from my point of view. There's going to be so much activity over the next couple of years. Originations is going to be enormous. And, Merrill Lynch is, to me, the best of the breed.
What do you think about some of the other financials out there? I mean, Jamie Dimon seems to be the golden boy on the street. Still questions about Brian Moynihan and his leadership. You seem to like him there. But what other financials would you be willing to put in your portfolio?
Well, what we did a couple of years ago is we bought a basket of the second and third tier brokerage firms because we think that people are going to have to raise capital across the board. Smaller companies, quality companies, and perhaps some of the bigger banks are not going to want to do the smaller deals. So, stocks like Cowen, we think over a long term will do well. But, of course, my favorite is B of A, and Jamie is a golden boy, but I think give Brian a little bit of time. He's just stepped in, and I think he's going to prove himself very, very well. And the important thing to remember is that Bank of America may be the biggest in this country. They've got a lot of growth overseas, and I think that they're just going to be terrific.
So, Buzzy, you've got 2.5 million shares of B of A. I mean, how much are you trimming on this run-up that we've seen?
Zero. Over the last quarter, we added a couple of 100,000 of the top warrants, and we're very comfortable with the position at this point.
All right. Well, Buzzy Geduld, CEO of Cougar Trading, talking about his outlook there on Bank of America. He's in it for the long term, he says. Thank you so much, Buzzy.